Hey everyone, how are you? Hope everyone's well. I just thought I'd share a little bit with you. So what happened last year in June is I suffered a stroke. Yeah, just like that. I was just living my life, and then the next thing, everything kind of just crumbled, and I fell to pieces. So for a long time, I've been debating about whether or not to do this blog or whatever, just to share my story. So initially, I've recorded a few videos which I ended up deleting because it's never sort of like the right time, or I never say things rightly. And I suppose one of the main things was that my speech has not been the same since I had the stroke. And the thing is, people who know me may be able to detect the differences, but those who hadn't met me before probably just think that this is the way I speak. Uh, so I was living my life a year ago, just getting on with my life, working, doing comedy and whatever. And then just one day, everything just changed. I mean, a lot of other things happened at that time. Some things I probably will talk about at some point, but not at the moment, because I went to hospital and stuff like that, and there were issues with the care I received. But I will discuss that at some point later. But what I just wanted to do now is just to share a bit about what happened. I'll do a few sort of like videos and try and keep them short. I just don't want to go on and on and on, because the other thing is I tend to kind of forget what I want to say. So probably have notes written down, which I don't have today, or like lose my train of thought. So I just don't want to be doing a long video where in the end I'm just rambling on and on. But I just thought, let me just do this video today, because I've been trying to do this so many times, and like I said before, there's always been excuses. Like today, I'm wearing a cap because my hair needs doing. That was another excuse I was trying to have not to do the video, but I just thought at some point I need to start. And also the other thing is, I'd had a discussion with I had a speech therapist at some point, sort of like discussing what I would, my ideas and everything. And I originally down in a notebook where I'd put the points nicely, but then I cannot find that notebook. And unfortunately for me, I've got a fetish for notebooks. So I've got about 10 or so notebooks in my house with my name on them, but I still cannot find those notes. Hopefully I will bump into them at some point. So I just thought, at least let me just start today. So yeah, I'm just thinking what I can talk about today. So like I said before, I had a stroke, and at the time, because I'm 46 years old, so a bit of background about myself. I'm 46 years old, work as a nurse, and I also dabble in comedy. So I was just getting on with my life, and actually on the day prior to me having the stroke, I'd actually had a meeting to discuss a show that I wanted to do, a show that I performed in Edinburgh, and I was going to actually perform it in London, like a one-woman show that I'd written, and I was actually in a good space, sort of like discussing how the show can be improved and what I can do, etc., etc. And also I'd performed like a comedy gig. I was feeling a little bit tired, but nothing really sort of like that I could sort of like pinpoint. It was just like the usual. And I also have got like underlying health issues. So I've got suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes and like things like mild asthma and stuff. But then at the time, they were sort of like nothing that was like out of the ordinary. I was just living my life, getting on with things, and then I just had the stroke. And then one of the things that people have been mentioning to me so many times, oh, you're so young, you're too young to have a stroke. I'm 46, and I was just thinking to myself, afterwards I felt so old, and was struggling with a lot of things, and being told that you're too young to have a stroke, I'm just thinking, I wish somebody had told the stroke that I'm too young. Hopefully it would have left me alone, but it didn't. So after the stroke, I suffered from left-sided weakness. That's one of the things that I'm still sort of like struggling with, and kind of doing exercises and trying to get to grip with things from in that respect. But also, fortunately, the left side of the weakness wasn't really that pronounced. So I was able to walk within like a week. I was walking with a walking stick. And then like at times I sort of like still struggle with my balance, but I not necessarily need the stick but I'm sort of like struggling. For example, if I get on a bus and stuff, I have to make sure I find a seat quickly, immediately. Otherwise, standing on the bus and stuff, I'm swaying, worried that I'll fall, etc., etc. And also, sort of like been trying to build my strength on the, especially like my left side, been going to the gym and all that stuff. So one of the things is like, I was thinking, okay, let me do this vlog and just talk about my experience. But what I was trying to think about is what I was actually going to talk about. What was I going to discuss with people? Because I didn't just want to have a vlog and just talk and ramble. Because what was the purpose of this vlog actually? What's the purpose of it? That's the thing. Because I remember like in 2018, I did a TEDx talk in Kingston. And one of the things they sort of like coached us on is like, when you're doing your talk, so one of the things you have to think about is what are people going to take out of that? What are people going to be left with that talk? So what I've just decided to do is I'll continue the vlog for as long as I can, and hopefully each time I can just touch on a few topics and stuff like that. I'm just hoping that somebody will find some of the stuff helpful, because there's some things that we actually don't think about until certain things happen to you, experiences you're not aware of, or resources and things that you can actually utilize or benefit from that you actually don't know about until something like this actually happens. But anyway, it's just hoping somebody can find what I'm saying helpful. And what really encouraged me to do this is that I've also been watching a few people, listening to a few people who are sharing their stories about things that happened to them, not necessarily like a stroke or maybe other health issues, and other people who were struggling with whatever they're struggling with, but they just getting on and sort of like sharing their story, and that has been helpful for me. So I'm hoping what I say somebody else can find it helpful. We'll try not to repeat myself because I'm quite conscious that my speech is a little bit slurred. I always say, I used to joke around saying I sound like a man, but now I sound like a drunk Zimbabwean man. No offense to Zimbabwean men, it's just me trying to joke around. Anyway, I think I've been rambling for so long, and unfortunately I didn't write any notes. I should have written notes so I could kind of stay on track. Anyway, that's just an introduction. I'm Lorraine. Some people know me as Mr. Lorraine. And the other thing is like, there's some people who knew what happened, some people didn't know what was happening. And some people were just wondering why I'd gone quiet for so long. Been quiet for over a year. I wasn't posting anything or saying anything. But recently I've just been doing a few little silly things. And I just thought probably it's time to do it. Anyway, I will continue for the next few weeks or so, and just share little bits about myself, about what happened, and about my experience, hoping that can be something that's going to be helpful for somebody. I'm also hoping I don't delete this video. So if you see it, know that I haven't deleted it. But if you don't see it, I'll probably just do another video. Anyway, just hoping everybody, you take care and look after yourselves. I'll see you on my next update. Thank you.